No ideas are not innovative. A standard service. First class at Lufthansa. A terrible flight. How is it always so bad and impossible for me to move on from this company? I've been a customer for over 30 years and have experienced everything there is to experience. I mean, we have also experienced times when we were in business and had a cardboard sandwich as a menu because we said we wanted to save. That has caught everyone who said we were saving off guard. And then it started again by saying that we have to rearm. We built a first-class terminal. Now we have all this and let it go to waste. I just got a cheap deal, so I paid just under 3,000 and then flew to Tokyo and now here. Currently at Prince Gallery in luxury hotel. Fantastic. Definitely worth watching. Very worth it. Especially these Tokyo hotels, Japan hotels, here still have quality, above all still have staff. And that is, of course, an absolute joyous experience. And what was the sole, truly remarkable moment right at the very beginning, the singular highlight of a Lufthansa first-class flight from Frankfurt to Tokyo? The arrival service in Tokyo. A Japanese friendly employee who was standing there with a sign and said, "Mr. Schroeder, I am very happy to assist you. Welcome to Tokyo. I will now guide you through all this fuss and bother." So I'm flying first class. So I went to the first class terminal and cleanliness is still lacking a bit. They still need to readjust. But there were good, fast, trained personnel there who were very friendly and above all did things quickly. The buffet has been made a bit bigger. I then ate scrambled eggs. They prepared that for me wonderfully fresh. Really tasted good. I had this amazing fresh farmer's bread. You must try it. This farmhouse bread is really great. That is really enjoyable. Then one could have eaten a lot, of course. I wasn't very hungry now. I just attempted a small amount of the small things there. Then I had an espresso prepared for me, which was also pleasant and warm. The men there really provide excellent service, these drivers. I appreciate it. He even carried my suitcase up to the plane because only good people fly on a first-class 747 flight to Tokyo. Because not everyone flies to Tokyo. Need money, already have to... Yes, so it's a high-quality flight. What are they doing? There we brought this Boeing 747 aircraft to the final position, the outermost position. That implies, people, we as customers must climb the stairs like those in a Ryanair budget airline. You can fly to Tokyo on Ryanair. And because of this story, and because, of course, everyone was then unsettled about the bus drivers and the organisation, we left an hour and a half later. Buses didn't come, people didn't come, it was chaos. No words. I have 1.5 HRS. First class for 1.5 HRS is different from economy. But these people, customers, had to do it too. We are, at least from a bicycle technical point of view. That is why, as a special first class guest and Horn Circle eternal first class, I should have been provided with a Porsche instead of the VW bus, even though there were 4 Porsches available. Can't do. So I don't want to book any longer. Why should I reserve such poor quality if I don't even get this great service in the end? As Top Gun, that's not top service, this is flop service. So all I can say is, flop Hansa it is. Mabdiel Frost. But it's a flop. So I won't book any more. I'm not going there and saying I'll get a costly ticket. I mean, now I'm glad, got a cheap Tix. Paid for cheap first class, otherwise I wouldn't have done it. Else wouldn't have flown Lufthansa, truly would have flown EMU now. Even flown AirNav, but then thought now pay 7.5 Lufthansa 3. I thought I was dumb with Lufthansa. So from my perspective, I thought, come on, this could be another nice ending, because now it's in this old one, and then this old first, this old biz, and these old planes. I'm a 380 pilot. But the 747, I mean, there is zero innovation. No innovation for a period of 10 years. You enter this one, which already has a musty smell. Pilots, especially in business, as endangerment of the masses is no longer properly cleaned. So I had to clean my seat first and get everything ready. Well, I am not having a good time with it, so maybe for those who are flying with Lufthansa first class for the first time, okay. But, I mean, that is not worth it anymore, you know. Everything is shaking with me. That gives me goosebumps. I then cleaned my first class seat. It was, of course, perfect. Of course, it's logical, the best place you can have there because you have a nice place there, and above all, freedom to the neighbor. Behind me and stuff, then this front one is free. So ultimately, all is well, that remains. That hasn't changed. Then I'll have a water. Then there is champagne and a little caviar. They lacked sufficient caviar. No, we are not on Emirates. Look, how awesome is that actually? We are not at Emirates. There is caviar and salmon and I don't know what. Full. As much as you want. You can overeat on that stuff. Emirates now provides a lot of service. She only has 1 canister on board. That's all Spartacus. All saved. Everything on sale. You can feel it. The rose wine is not available and then the food is served. Children, what a terrible discount store quality. This is the premium discount quality from Lidl, Aldi and company that you can't find anywhere else. Seriously, that is the quality. This fillet which they had then, so torfen. Just this, they had such a scambini, dried thing, the fillet dry. Then I told the stewardess, now I also know what this reminds me of, this classic American food. This is the method to fly with United in Polaris. This is the feed originating from Polaris. I must say, the only thing there, again, regarding the food, was a nice wine selection from Monago, which still makes it great. Yes, I've had a bit more ice cream. Well, and the first was not full. Who was present at the first? The Hon, the only guest on board who took a flight to Tokyo on that particular day. Look, I mean, I understand that no one wants to fly first-class Lufthansa anymore because the quality is so bad. Not because prices are so expensive, because you can already get this flight at Lufthansa for $6.50. So it's not that it would be incredibly costly now, but if quality and service were right, you would also pay 10 for it. If everything goes according to plan, that was a flight that was truly not worth more than $3. I'd prefer to pay only $2.50. That would have been worth it. Well, I sat there in the first, had my first all to myself. So I had excellent service. Luckily, they didn't include any upgrades in this story, so there were no surprises from the back to the front. So they sat fearfully in the back of the business academy. I took a look at it and said, God's hallelujah, what a pleasure. If you will, there were then these two joys. One joy was being alone in the first and having it all to myself again with no one else there. Until this Polaris story, so that means the Allegrista comes. It'll take until the 28th anyway. This also starts a new era, which has to do with thriftiness, because everything has to be booked individually. So Allegris means nothing else than I book myself the lounge and the Porsche service, and then someone makes the bed for me. People will do everything themselves, and as a result, everything will further fall away, and eventually that will be abandoned. Well, I mean, other airlines have already done that, so it's not unusual. Lufthansa is, if you will, the last one missing to then add the rest. It is more about the business and economy sector. But in the first class segment, I mean, look at these current things with me, especially the 180-day trip. The E&E tail with the A380, great service. Also of the finest, highest quality. The service in the first class at Air France where you are picked up, taken, so there is always a chauffeur service available. Also fantastic, really. Great fun is ultimately something that is happening here right now. Check Air France, worth watching. Above all, especially then, the return flight with everything that goes. And then it is already off to the Emirates. Emirates continues to be the ultimate destination at the current time. Quality. I have now made a total of 4 flights. Can you all take a look? Give the Horn Emirates a try. Currently flying from Vienna. Excellent hammer. And if you fly from Frankfurt or, for example, Zurich or something, where the game changer is also included, my goodness, you sit there all by yourself and have your own space and peace, and you get great food. Made by Do & Co from Vienna, yes, that was absolutely awesome. Really, they have outdone themselves. This quality that is offered there, even when you fly via Dubai, you are then in the lounge with lobster tails, and I don't know, really. The top on top, the best luxury segment at the moment, which is currently on the market, is Emirates for long-distance travel. At Lufthansa, they're immediately personally offended if you express justified criticism to them. If you inform them, it's considered negative. I often read that, or it's frequently conveyed and sent to me. Then we said, there was this and that not. We said, why not? We are entitled to it. Then they didn't address them anymore. You were sitting there alone. You didn't get anything anymore. So they have really become a frustrated staff of employees who no longer have the desire to provide good service. Again, not all. A large part of it, unfortunately, it's growing. Unfortunately, this majority is growing in this whole story. The Japanese woman on board. And then the Japanese woman comes on the floor. Arrival service. Then she stands in the shield. And then we went through security together, which is a new and unfamiliar experience. So this is yet another vital thing. You absolutely must fill out these arrival stories in the designated online area without fail or hesitation. This is truly essential because then you will obtain your barcode, and with the barcode, you will be able to access Tokyo in a span of 5 minutes. So it's worth it. And that's easy later. That means you give them your ID and then you have codes they scan, security officers, and then you have to place your 2 fingers there and then you can already walk through. And then you go to the luggage. There you confirm that you are not bringing anything in. You have already entered all of this online. Then you have a second code that is a blue code, and you also give this blue code. Put passport on this thing, place blue code on it, then it goes bling, then you can go through, entered 5 minutes. Really so awesome. I mean, when I think of America, what a nightmare. And this lady, this arrival service Japanese who works at Lufthansa, luckily works at Lufthansa, did it so excellently. That has thrilled me so much. I said, man, that's a joy. I thought there was nobody and so on. And then we also went to the luggage. I had only carry-on baggage. And that was, I must say, an absolutely delightful welcome back to Tokyo, which I found to be incredibly warm and filled with cherished memories. Because I am aware, yes, Tokyo is particularly strong in this area. If you possess skilled staff, then you will have an excellent experience here, and Lufthansa is fortunate to have that advantage. The service on board in first class was abysmal. The quality of the food, the dishes, the drinks, not enjoyable, too little caviar, no rose wine, out of position of the 747 where you have to climb stairs to get on the plane, for a flight to Tokyo, which is part of the high-quality, therefore high-priced route of Lufthansa. You have no interest to improve it in any way, but only to focus on the money and cash in and to see that it goes up on the stock market. If I see the stock exchange here, the Lufthansa share keeps going down. No signs of improvement. It is not enjoyable. I believe that many individuals at this moment, just like I read, are not exactly thrilled. Even though I would say our major shareholder buys a lot there to strengthen the stock. Now we also know why he buys so much. He reinforces the stock to prevent it from plummeting all the way down. Yes, I understand it. Lufthansa has introduced a strategy of providing zero service to customers. It will now be expanded further. All individuals have to take into account that. I took an additional Lufthansa first-class flight that was inexpensive. Simply due to that, I no longer feel well looked after in this particular area, no longer indulged, and I simply do not derive pleasure from this narrative, and will book differently in the future. I also have all these things that were on board. So there is this thing with a scarf for women. The scarf has already been painted for the men, so Porsche design no longer exists. These things are, once again, as always, we don't have them at all. This is a baby shoe. Why don't we have a proper shoehorn in first until today? Lufthansa's innovative offering in terms of service quality is limited to a toothbrush, a toothpick, and dental floss. This is the only unique aspect that sets them apart at the moment.